All right guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a new bike added to our garage. We got the Engwe EP-2 Pro sitting over here in the corner. Let's get to it and check it out. Alright, and now that you guys seen some of the bike, before we go ride it, I'm going to tell you some of the specs. So the battery is enclosed in the frame, and it's from here where the bike folds all the way up to the front, and it is 12.8 amp hours. It has a Shimano 7-speed with a derailleur in the back. This bike does have front suspension, which is very, very nice. It does come with a headlight. Don't know exactly how bright it is yet, but glad it does come with a headlight. Most e-bikes do not. These fenders on the bike are aluminum. The previous models from last year were plastic, and now these are aluminum, so they're really nice and firm and strong. They're not gonna flap all over like the last ones did. They're actually held on there very, very good. And then you probably already noticed that the wheels do not have the traditional spokes, so there will be no adjustments. You won't have to fine tune any of your wheels or anything like that over time. It's just a 6-spoke design, and I actually think it's pretty clean. It's different, and if you wanted to, you could technically take these off and paint them or take them to a powder coating place and kind of customize it the way you want it. It has rubber grips up front. They're very, very hard, plus and minus for your modes that you want to be in for pedal assist, and then you have the power button that's down here, and then you also have the light button on the side. You get a little bell on here. Not a big fan of the bell. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that later. The display is very, very nice. No problems with the display. And then when you come over to this side, you got a half throttle. Comes with a rear rack, so if you want to put any bags or anything, accessories on the back of it, you can transport some stuff, so it is very nice that it is included. The seat that the bike comes with is actually pretty wide, and it's pretty soft, and it has a little breathable port in the middle. It has suspension in the rear of it, which is very nice because you do not have rear suspension on the EP-2 Pro. You do have it in the front, but since you don't have it in the back, it is nice to see that the seat at least has some suspension that's going to help be a little bit more of a comfortable ride. It also comes with a brake light in the back, and this actually works when you hit the brakes, which is very, very nice. It's a very good safety feature on an electric bike. So it does come with a 750 watt motor, Pana Racer Fat B Nimble tires, and they are 20 by 4.0 front and back. And on this side of the bike is where you're gonna have your little charging port. It is a very cheap piece of plastic that holds it. Hopefully it doesn't rip over time, but it is very hard to get this charging port cover off. But at least it is gonna be very water sealed and tight, but it's gonna be right here on the frame to charge it. And the seat is very adjustable, so if you are a small or a tall person, this thing has some extension to it. So you can have it very low, very high, real easy. You can do it on the fly, so if you wanna have different people ride it right then and there's no adjustments, it's easy. And of course, the biggest thing about this bike is that it folds. And this is the first folding bike that we've had on the channel. And I love it, but you do have to get used to folding the bike because it's not as easy as it is when you first get it. It's all brand new. Very, very hard to bend. It's a little awkward too. You do have a little handle that you can hold on to right here, so it helps you kind of bend that. And that's basically the two things that you just need to fold in is you fold half the bike and then you take these handlebars down. And if you want to put them back up, they just come right back up, snap into place, push this little locking piece in right here, and you are good to go once you push it back together. And there you go, back to riding. These pedals also, when you get them, they look very funky when I first saw them, but it made sense because these also fold. So when you do fold the bike to get more room, those go up and then they click back in place. All right guys, so you've seen the bike up close. We went over some of the specs on it, but now the only thing we really need to do is get on the road and test it out because I want to find out the pros and cons on this, what I like about it, how the power comes in when we get up to a start, going uphill, maybe we'll go off road, and we'll see how fast our battery drains too. So let's get to it. All right guys, so let's go through the speeds of this bike. So mode number 1, you get roughly like 5 miles per hour. Let's bump it up to 2. You can kind of feel it kick in a little bit. Mode number 2, you get about almost 9. It's about 8 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, probably depending on your weight. Let's go up to 3. Mode number 3 is giving us 12 miles per hour. Mode 4, let's see what that gets us to. I'm looking at about 17 miles an hour, roughly. And then mode 5, it's gonna take some time to get up there. We are getting roughly 20 miles. I saw 21, but it's going down a little bit. But we're getting 20 miles per hour. I figured this bike would at least do 28 miles an hour. I thought that's what it did on paper. I should let you guys know that I'm actually finishing this review a week after I recorded all the other footage because I had to reach out to the company because we had an error on the bike. I think it was error 24. Something about the motor. Like it wasn't reading correctly. So I don't know if that's why we have an issue on this bike. But I'm not seeing the 28 miles per hour that this bike is supposed to get. But all the reviews I've seen, you're supposed to. But other than that, let's kind of get into some of the stuff on the bike. The grips, I showed you guys a little bit. They're really hard rubber. They're not that comfortable. I do like that they have the little form fitting to your hand. But to get them to sit right with you, you would have to move the bars back and forth to kind of get it to fit your hands, because to me, for it to feel comfortable, my hands would have to be up here, but I want my hands kind of more down here. But these grips don't just move. You can't just move the grips if you really wanted to. One cool thing about this though, I do like the plus and minus button. It makes it very, very simple to use. I like that feature. The bell's horrible. I guess it's good that they do give you a bell, but come on, what is this bell gonna do? I wonder if that guy heard my bell or not. Like, cars aren't gonna hear that bell, but if you're on a trail and you're with other like bicycle riders and stuff like that, they'll hear that bell. It'd be all right. But they're definitely not gonna hear it if you're just with traffic and someone cuts you off. The display, super nice. Love the display. It's very easy to move. You don't need to tighten it down anymore. It's not gonna move once it's on there. You don't have to cinch down the bolts because you can see that I can obviously move this wherever I want. It's probably easy if I move it this way so you guys can see it. And I like the display. It's real nice. It's not color display, it's just a black and white, but perfectly fine for this bike. There's no complaints there. And oh, by the way, we're hitting 22 miles per hour right now. Slightly going uphill too. And before you guys say anything about the top speed not being 28 miles an hour, I will let you guys know that we are pedaling this bike. Uh-oh. Well, we're getting that, we got that error 24 code again, which is very weird. Yeah, so the bike is completely dead. So this is the same issue I was having the last time, and I reset the bike like the company said to. So let me try turning it off again, and I'm gonna turn it back on. Oh man, this bike. All right, let's pull off to the side right here. Really quick. Let's see if I can fix it with resetting the bike really quick. All right, let's see if that reset it. I don't think we're gonna get very far on this bike, guys. I would love to do a proper review on this bike, but it looks like the review is gonna be cut short because I am very far from my house right now. And I might be pedaling this thing back, which is going to suck. So probably definitely a quality control issue with this bike. I mean, it could just be a bad motor. That's what I'm thinking it is. When I reached out to the company and we talked about it, when they told me to reset the bike, by the way, I'm out of breath, guys, because I think I've pedaled maybe 4 miles now. I'm not doing too bad though. I'm doing a good like 10 miles an hour. But they said that, oh, you might have to replace the motor. I'm not replacing the motor. And if I bought the bike from the company, like you guys did, you guys spend your hard-earned money, like $1,000, $1,200, whatever the bike is. I feel like they should just send you a brand new bike. I am not going to replace the motor on this bike. There's no way. None of you guys should have to do that either. Especially if it's like dead on arrival type of thing, like how this bike is. Let's see how easy it is to get up stuff. Woo! With that suspension, it really pops up stuff. That's cool. Oh, look, the motor's working again. Why is it working now? That's so weird. It sucks because I was so looking forward to getting a foldable bike for the channel. It'd be so much easier to bring one bike on my bike rack, one bike inside my car because it can fold. I would love to bring 2 bikes with me when I go places, but this is kind of unfortunate that this happened with this bike. It's like when it hits the top speed, it backs out. Let's see what our top speed is now, because I started seeing 23. It does take a while to get up there though, that's for sure. 24. Oh, don't hit me. Don't hit me. Oh, man. I had to slow down. Okay, we didn't get very far until the bike cut off again. So that sucks. Oh, the bike came back. All right, I'll just see you guys at the house because this bike is just being a pain right now. All right, so unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to recommend this bike just because I didn't even get to ride it the way it's supposed to be. I didn't hit 28 miles an hour. Something's messed up on the bike. And if I was a customer just like you guys and bought the bike and had these similar issues, I'd be very unhappy, especially since I contacted the company once and they told me to reset the bike and that didn't do anything. They said the next step would be to replace the motor, but no, I'm not doing that. I'm not replacing the motor on this bike. It sucks that we didn't really get into it because I've been wanting a foldable bike for a very, very long time. And this was very promising that I was gonna get to ride one, put it in my car, like I said, put another bike on the back, or I put a skateboard in there. I could have multiple uses for carrying more stuff, and it was gonna be great. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't really get to test the bike out too much. The seat is very comfortable, I will say that. The forks are pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's easier to hop up curbs and stuff like that because you can kind of compress them and jump up. And it also has a locking feature on here, so if you're on a straight road, you can lock it so the suspension doesn't go up and down. But honestly, it's better just to have the suspension working at all times. But maybe if you're on the smoothest surface ever, you can lock them. Other than that, the bike is very nice to look at. It's like any other foldable bike that's on the market. I mean, there's tons of them that look exactly like this. They're just rebranded. Some of them have different, you know, accessories to go with it, different tires, headlight, different suspension, different battery pack, stuff like that. So it really depends on what you're looking for, but that's gonna be the end of this video. You can click the link in the description if you wanna buy one, and hopefully you don't get one that's messed up like this one was. I'm pretty sure the company would take care of you and all that stuff. Hopefully they would not have you switch out the motor if you have an issue with it, and they would just send you a whole brand new bike and maybe send the other one back. I actually don't even know how that would work because you'd have to put this whole bike back in the box and everything, so I don't know how they would do that. But anyways, see you guys in the next one, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, and that's just how it is. So had fun with it until it died. So see you guys in the next one. Later.